You gotta love a lot right now. You gotta go right now. You gotta fuck it up, oh yeah. You gotta fuck it up, oh yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Fuck it up, fuck 'em up, oh yeah.
Good afternoon, I'm Rain Russell, and this is Spoken Word Hour with WBCR Bloomfield College Radio. If you didn't already know, on this show I interview talented poets and rappers and then allow them to showcase their talents. Today on the show, I have a poet, rapper, by the name of Dru Diligence or Baby Bishop. How are you today?
I'm pretty good. How you doing?
I'm fly guy right now. So what songs that you created mean the most to you? Like any songs that you've created?
More recently, right now, I have a couple like commercial tracks, but the ones that mean the most are my recent one called Hold Up, and let's see, another one called Fallout. Those songs, they basically have to do with me venting, which I feel like is very important for any artist to vent for both their soul and their music, so that it can both be set their current state in mind and the current state of their art, as well as being able to progress forward and make better art to get them out of their rut.
Okay, that was deep.
Sorry.
No, you're good. But let's get a little bit more into you. So what is the significance behind your name?
So, let's see, Dru Diligence. That comes from the fact that, of course, my first name is Drew. No Andrew, just straight Drew. It comes from the fact that I definitely take my time with things that I value and feel are very important, be it it's even an argument or something that I very hold dear, like my passion in music. I won't leave the studio until I know that I've gotten something right, or everyday life things, even like a resume. So I take my time with my things, what I do. The term Dru Diligence came from, the name Dru Diligence came from the term due diligence. So yeah, play on words.
Okay, yeah, that's a lot.
Fun.
Yeah, it's the thought, I like it. And what about Baby Bishop?
Baby Bishop has to do with the fact that, if you ever like seen my tattoo, it has to do with the fact that I think that every person is born to be in a certain type of position related to the chessboard. Some people are born pawns, some people are born bishops. I felt I was born a bishop, and it's all in their character, like their choices and their overall mindset. And you can even tell by the way they live their life. But that's not to say that just because you are that piece, that you can't elevate from there. So some people are born kings. I know some real arrogant people that, yeah, they are really good at things to the point they can run things, but they can run it to the ground too.
You're just giving me life today.
He got fire in his speaking words.
Right. Do you mostly go by Dru Diligence or Baby Bishop?
I go by Dru Diligence. It's kind of like that movie Fresh that came out in '94. People who know me will just call me Drew. Stage name, Dru Diligence. But for those who really know me, they know that they call me Bishop.
Okay. So how old are you?
I'm 27.
Wow.
I know I make it look good. Sorry.
You fooled me.
How much old do you think I was?
I thought you were like 20.
I only say 22 the most.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
And where are you from?
Originally, I'm from Plainfield. I live pretty much all over Central Jersey, but I mean, I was raised out there first, moved to Franklin, Somerset, and I'm in the New Brunswick area all the time.
Okay. Do you go to any parties?
Do I go any? No, because honestly, I'm too old for the college parties.
Okay.
Unless it's like a particular event or something, but you'll find me at a club or a lounge.
Okay.
Or drunk at home.
So what made you get into rapping or poetry?
It became a very innate thing. Basically, I didn't know I was even into it until I got into it. So one day I was taking out the trash, and I just found myself rapping to myself. I'm thinking, like, who said that? Like, I didn't write these rhymes. Who said this? Like I was possessed by some rapper in the past. I don't know.
Okay.
So then one day I was at a store with my mom. She went inside, center console of the car. I went to get a new CD because the music that's repetitiously played on the radio is annoying. So I found a KRS-One CD, And I popped that in, and from there I just started doing research, and I just started looking up people like Big Daddy Kane, Wu-Tang Clan, MF Doom, people who have lyrical substance, and then that's it.
Okay. I'm liking this flow of yours right now, like seriously. So who are your inspirations? What are the people that you named?
Favorite rapper of all time is Raekwon the Chef from the Wu-Tang Clan. I respect his hustle, his slang when he rhymes is very distinct, and not many big body rappers are out here right now. That have ever held their weight in the past, like Biggie Smalls, and he's one of very few like that. Basically, I feel like he's the lyrical version of Rick Ross. Sorry if anybody likes Rick Ross, but I just don't think he's that good. That's my opinion.
Okay. You're the first person I ever heard to say that, like, as far as being there, like, one of their favorites. Normally people say, like, Biggie Smalls, or they'll say, Tupac, or they'll get more current with, like, Jay-Z.
From 50 Cent.
50 Cent, Kanye West, Kendrick Lamar,
And
J. Cole.
And some of them, are my favorites that you listed, but I feel like Raekwon the Chef is more of an embodiment of who I am. Like his grind, hustle, and when you don't have anything left and you've lost everything, you grind, hustle, you get it back. Because that's what it means to be a hustler.
Grind, hustle, get it back. Okay. Right. I like that. Okay. So what would you say your style is like?
It's almost like kind of how I talk. It's a little bit aggressive.
Okay.
I go by what people tell me. It's a little bit aggressive. It has this confidence that kind of just is there, and there's nothing I can do about it. And I keep things very, very not blunt, but it's like I basically pull people's files, pull cards, or I tell things like how they are,
Okay.
not like how they might be.
Okay, so after doing some background research, I've seen that you are a member of or a part of Gold Standard 24K.
Yeah, that's my man, 21 Gold. Shout out to my man's out there. It was definitely our idea that, he's my best friend since grade school. Like that, let's put that out there. Let people know how, tight we are. Since grade school, he and I have had a fascination for music. I probably got more into music because of him, because he had his own home studio, and we record, and we would do some songs, all practice songs, none released, and before we ever had the name together. And I really got to thank him for that, because if it wasn't for someone so close to me who was into music, I don't know if I would have ever got more into it, or if I would have picked up something else.
So, like, have you, as a duo, ever performed anywhere?
Yes, we actually performed back in September at the Bishop Gallery in Bed-Stuy in Brooklyn.
Okay, and how was that?
It was an experience to definitely remember. Basically, for those who think they know what a show is to be like, you're wrong. Like, if you think you know what a show is going to be like, or you have expectations down to your outfit, you're wrong. The crowd, everything. But it was definitely something to remember and take note of. Shout out to Nat for setting that show up as well. And, it was honestly something I take with me everywhere I go that day.
Okay. So I also seen that you performed at a Great Festival.
Great festival.
Yeah.
When was this? Good. I feel like I only did one show recently.
One show. I don't think this was recent.
How long ago?
I'm not sure. But
With Great Festival. How you spell it?
Great, like GREAT, and then festival.
Ooh, no, but like you mentioned that last show in Brooklyn, that was called BK Fest.
Okay.
So that was the only festival I know of I've been a part of. So I don't know, maybe it's the other Dru Diligence, I don't know.
And so it was another year.
Yeah, I passed by on the way up here when I was trying to find parking. I was like, oh, You know? Like, how that show? You're like, oh, it was good, it was good, it was great. You know, great festival. Yeah, okay, cool, bye. You know.
So,
You really gotta know.
have you, like, when was the first performance you ever had? Like, even if it was little, like.
The very first performance I ever had was back in 2011. Shout out to my man MC Pollock, Max Bob in Princeton. He set that up for me to come out and perform after we were recording some songs together. And I was like when I first started posting music. And I did like this super lyrical miracle freestyle in Princeton, New Jersey. And it was good. That was something to definitely learn from too. My main thing to learn from, always do sound checks. Always do sound checks. But it was great. There's a lot of energy I brought that day, I remember. I was nervous, but I did it.
Okay. What would you say is what is your process when you are trying to create your music?
In the beginning stages, I never wrote to any beat. It's like just like how you hear that, I wrote to nothing.
Okay.
Then as I got older, I started coming across the fact I want to rhyme on beats that are original. No samples, no anyone else's beats like how J. Cole did on his mixtapes, no offense to him. It's just that I rather either write to original beats or just like something so basic and rudimentary in terms of the bass line and kicks that I can formulate my own world in terms of lyricism there.
Okay. So moving forward in your rap career, would you say, are you going as like a soloist or are you a duo?
Well, I mean, the thing is, let's see. It's not a hard question. It's just that I feel that as a solo artist, it's very important that anyone should definitely showcase their own work so that they know that they don't need a group to stand on their own or to make a particular impact. So I'm very focused on myself as a solo artist, more so because most people out here are not serious in terms of the music. I don't know, they're thinking about money, they rap about it all the time or something, and they think it's gonna come, and it's just not like that. It's just like I remember Lauryn Hill even said, if you really think this is about that money and stuff like that, you in the wrong sport, you know? But with me and my man 21 with Gold Standard, I can't see myself doing music with anyone else. Like I said, ain't no one out here that serious. No one's gonna take your passion as serious as you. But I've known him, I've worked with him too long. I talk to him like more than I would any girlfriend I've ever had in my life. I talk to him 3 times a day.
Okay.
You know? And like, you know, it's like, you know how you guys want to FaceTime you and you're just like, nah, you gotta make an appointment for that. He could FaceTime me and be like, what's up? I have crust in my eye, I'd be like, what's up? You know, like we could talk.
Right.
So yeah.
So would you say that besides him, do you have any like other people that motivate you or have encouraged you throughout your process?
Dope and whack rappers. Nah. But those who motivate me, I gotta say, are my man Don Gatto out there in Milltown, because he's like one of the best. He's not so much of a vocalist. He's an engineer.
Okay.
So you know, it's a different aspect of the music side. It's like seeing someone who knows what they're doing, has a reputation, because he worked with my favorite rapper of all time, Raekwon the Chef at Ice House Studios, and then has an extensive background with mixing songs for Wiz Khalifa and others. And just to see him do other business ventures like promoting artists like Kid Ink and others, he motivates me because he knows that this is not an overnight thing. If you think it is, you need to get out this sport. Aside from him, and I wish him the best with what he's going through right now, it's my guy. Others who definitely influenced me are my man Big State out there in Franklin, holding it down. Just he's a new father and everything. His kid just turned 1. And he hosts shows, he raps, he sings, he makes beats. He's like a whole renaissance man in his own. And he definitely motivates me as well. Like, you know, he's a father, but he's still doing his passion.
Right.
You know, that's dope.
That's like some good motivators. What else would you say is motivating for you that's not as people, like as maybe things or other aspects of your life?
Another person is is definitely Soldier Boy. No,
Oh.
no. Someone who motivates me outside of that is
about to be like,
I call myself off guard. Nah, someone who definitely motivates me.
Oh, God.
Dingy Gucci bandana. Okay, but someone who definitely motivates me is I gotta say, I can't really. I don't know. I'm very strange. I don't have anyone who so much influences me or motivates me. It's just maybe like, all right, these are actually very clown people.
Okay.
But to me, they are motivators whenever I go on Instagram. So there's a rapper, maybe you know him by the name of Freddie Gibbs. He's worked with a lot of people, but whatever.
Okay.
He's not as known as like Dave East or whatever, but he's known, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He was on XXL covers and all that. But he's a motivator because he keeps things very much 100% real. He calls something for what it is. If it quacks, he's gonna call it a duck. He's not afraid to say what it is.
Okay.
And same thing applies. I don't know. People keep it real like that. Not so much as, you know, sweet that word Saturday, but you know, like that being very genuine, authentic people. Those type of people influence me, and that's what Freddie Gibbs implies are to me. So in terms of like figures, them.
Okay. I respect that. Yep. I agree. I like that. So, what are your plans in terms of your music? Like,
I plan to release an album in the spring. I have collaborative EPs with producers from Massachusetts and Hawaii in the works right now.
Ooh.
They've, what?
In Hawaii?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to my man Delp too. He's the one who actually made the beat, Hold Up. He made the beat. What happened was actually, it was actually something I very much value and appreciate as almost any, I don't know what it feels like to get a Grammy, but it's different when you work on your passion, not expecting anything from anybody. Then you get an email from somebody saying, hey, I really like your stuff. It's really dope. Take my beats and make something to them. That's very humbling for me, especially for someone who doesn't know you, who is a whole other culture from you that you've never met, and they just know you off of a song,
Right.
which is what your life is about. And that says a lot, especially for, I'm not licking no shots, but I'm just saying, if someone you don't know is supporting your craft, as opposed to those that want to hang out with you and smoke with you and drink with you every day who don't, that says a lot about what
Yeah.
you're doing in your life and who you have in your circle. So shout out to Delp for doing that. Shout out to my man Carson, Massachusetts. We're working on a 5-track EP. Delp, we're doing that as well. So 2 different producers. And anyone else who wants to collab in terms of that.
I want to collab.
Okay, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
All right. Better reply to my messages because I'm going to hit you up because of people doing that.
No, I do. I reply back.
You don't got to be like Kanye where like you have to reply within the same hour at 3 a.m. No, but if we don't do it, it's like a poetic EP.
Yeah.
Yeah, how you like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a poem. I'm a poet.
You're a
I'm
poet.
We have background noise, not so much music, but you know, like beats, but you know, it's about the vocals and
Yeah.
the substance. You like that word. You like substance.
Yeah, because what I write about, I can't put it on the air.
Mm-hmm.
But, so where can people follow your work at?
You can follow me on Instagram at Dru Diligence, DruDiligence, Diligence. And on Twitter, same thing, Dru Diligence. Tumblr, Dru Diligence. SoundCloud, Dru Diligence. Pigeon message, Dru Diligence. Email, Dru Diligence, everything. So it's just, I kept it simple.
Okay. So, I do have a question of, when will you say to yourself that you've made it? Or when will you feel like you have made it?
See, that's a very funny question because, you know, I remember some really whack ass, sorry, I can't curse. Actually, that's in the dictionary, so I didn't curse. But, let's see. But, no, we in court, I didn't curse. But, so basically, someone that basically is a degenerate person, there you go. said to me one time that my idea of success is not successful, and it kind of made me think. I didn't come back to him until a day later, and so he was like blending a smoothie, and I said, "You know what? You were wrong." He's just like, "What?" You know. But I said that I think everyone has their own idea of success. So to say that I know when I made it, I have my ideas of that, which is, this is honestly, I feel like this is asking for a lot, but when I feel like I have shaped the black community to stop self-oppressing itself so much to the point that we don't see that, you know, we're half the problem, that's a sign of success to me. If I can do that with my music and raise awareness, then and cause an influence, that's success.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I can make Jay-Z look like Jesse Jackson cry when Obama won in his victory speech, that's success.
Okay.
Because, you know, something when you see your predecessor acknowledge a successor until like that he cries, that's lit.
Mm-hmm.
That's me. Oh yeah, and if I can make money off of songwriting, that's nice too.
Okay. Would you ever ghostwrite for people?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a whole bunch of songs that I know I can't do, but I could definitely have someone else do, especially if they can't rap or write.
I can't. So you gonna write some stuff for me? 'Cause I can't rap.
Yeah, you wanna be a gangster?
Yeah.
I got you. I got that.
I want to be like.
Wanna be Blood, Crip? Which one? Vice Lord? What? Which one? Oh, she.
No, but no, I think it's interesting. Like, I want to know what's like. I'm waiting for more of your work. I want to see where you go.
Mm.
You're interesting.
In a bad way?
No, like in a good way.
Okay. I mean, like, there's interesting bad people like, stay away from him. You know?
No, in a good way, because your mindset is there. Your drive is there, like the passion is there. Some way I want to know. Can't wait for that.
I got you. You're gonna be on my closest friends on Instagram, so I can post something. I got you.
Okay.
So that means you get the first response.
Oh,
you know.
great. I feel special. So we also have, a little co-host here today by the name of Nelly.
She's trying to hide her hoodie.
Hello. Alright, so just close real quick.
So do you have any questions for Drew?
Honestly, you took everything out of my mouth.
Word?
Yeah, for real.
I see you have some. I had a dream on your paper. It was like he was forming a question.
I had a dream today, It's Black History Month. So
That's
Word.
right.
So that's another thing. Do you ever tailor your music to fit
Blackness.
well, or like what's going on at the current?
Oh, like current events.
Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of a line or maybe even a song, yeah, I did start a song. See, it's like I just started. I forgot the name of it. I wrote a whole verse and chorus, but I don't know the name of the song. But it's about basically, honestly, what I just mentioned earlier about how we have oppression going on in our community.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have enough for ourselves, and it's because of the fact we are not giving enough to ourselves, or we're not self-investing as Black people. So that's one thing that is a current event. Somebody will say, "Oh, it's been going on." I'm like, okay, it's ongoing, so it's current.
Yeah,
that's true.
I agree with that. So, I want to play a little game.
You got games.
Yeah.
Got games on your phone.
I do have games on my phone, but
I love that.
yeah, I just keep downloading more and more, and then, at some point I just start deleting. Then I get more.
Mm.
Then I go on other people's phone and play their game.
Mm. Just run up everybody's data.
Yeah, why not? But yeah, I want to play a little game. It is called the Spoken 5 Challenge.
Mm.
And I don't know if anyone has seen it previously, if you watched it or not, if you watched the show. But the rules are, I will give you a word or a phrase.
Okay.
And you will have 5 minutes to create a poem or rap and then recite it.
Can I get that pen and paper, please?
This is what it's for.
Oh. What?
Got a dream today, brother.
I'm sorry. My thing on this pen.
My pencil is useless right now.
No, I just usually write with pen.
Mm-hmm. You don't want your pencil.
You're just gonna give me what again? And I'm gonna write it.
So I'm gonna give you a word or a phrase. So that's your phrase right there.
Oh, this.
Yes.
Ah.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
I'm gonna set a timer.
Now.
Wait.
Can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me? Hands in the soap, how the faucet's running and I keep looking at you. Stuck on your phone or you're stuck in your zone.
Okay.
You don't ever cook, but I don't wanna give up. Baby, I just want you to get up. Lately I've been a little fed up. Wish you would just focus on me. Can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me? Can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me? Lazy and broke. No, we get this money, so I guess I can't complain. But I feel alone even when we're alone. And that don't cost a thing, but I don't wanna give up. Baby, I just want you to get up. Lately I've been a little fed up, yeah. I wish you would just focus on me. Can you focus on me? Oh, yeah. Baby, can you focus on me? Can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me? Baby, focus. Can't you see? I just wanna love you, baby. Look me in my eyes. Ooh.
No matter what you say, what you do, when I'm alone, I'd rather be with you. Got these other dummies, I'll be right by your side till 2005.
Okay, hold up, wait a minute. All good just a week ago. Crew at my house and we party every weekend. So on the
Chicken
radio,
scratch.
that's my favorite song. Make me bounce around like I don't know, like I won't be here long. Now the thrill is gone, got no patience, cause I'm not a doctor. Now go, why is you lying? Girl, why you move faster? Yeah, me casa su casa. Got it stripping like Gaza. Got so high off volcanoes. Now the flow is so lava. Yeah, we spit that saliva. iPhone got message from Viber. Either the hate is so hyper or we let bygones be bygones. My God, you pay for your friends. I'll take that as a compliment. Got a house full of homies. Why I feel so the opposite. Incompetent ain't the half of it. Saturdays with young lavish. The sad it is I'm bad as it. These they took from the cabinet. Sorry, I'm just scared of the future. Till 2005, I got your back. We can do this. Hold up.
No matter what you say, what you do, when I'm alone, I'd rather be with you. Got these other dummies, I'll be right by your side till 2005. Hold up,
Hold up.
hold up.
Hold up. poor. I've lost all hope of a happy ending, depending on whether or not it's worth it. So insecure, no one's perfect. We spend it with no shame. We blow that like Coltrane. We in here like Rogaine, or leave it like Cobain. And when I'm long gone, whole crew sing a swan song. Cause we all just ticking time bombs. Got a Lambo like LeBron's mom. And no matter where all of my friends go, Emily, Bim, and Lorenzo, all of them people my kinfolk. At least I think so. Can't tell. Cause when the chest clear, they're not here. Cause they don't care. I'm sad, but I'm laughing. Whatever happens, assassins are stabbing the back of my cabin, lapping or yapping. I'm glad that it happened. I mean it. Between us, I think there's something special. And if I lose my mental, just hold my hand even if you don't understand. Hold up.
No matter what you say, what you do, I'm alone.
Okay. So your phrase was, I have a dream. So what you got?
Okay. So it goes, yeah. Nah, I like how I didn't curse, but it's still explicit. So, I had a dream. You wanted, but didn't need me. Had a dream, you didn't take from me, you received me. You could stand on your own too, while being able to stand me. That you knew your throne was my face in any other place you could grandstand. See, that's your problem, and that's your business. Your naked flaws, I bear witness. But I love and accept, you know I'm a pro, not inept, but adept. Won't reject, but put in check. Because your beauty is too deep, that inner honor it should reflect.
John Smite. Simple.
I'm sweating.
that was cool?
Oh yeah.
Cool.
The wordplay.
No, that was nice though.
I can't think. Jesus. Okay. So we're gonna do it again.
Oh shit, okay, yeah.
And
I need my pen though, or not. Okay, I got another phrase, I gotta make one up, I gotta find out. Like, oh, anything you get past the first one.
Give me surprise.
Yo, disrespectful.
I'm gonna give you a word this time. Don't say the word.
That's even worse. This makes it easier.
And go.
You can f with me if you wanted to.
That's my
These
start.
expensive, these is red bottoms, these is bloody shoes. Hit the school, I can get them both. I don't wanna choose, and I'm quick cutting off, so don't get comfortable. Look, I don't dance now, I make money move. Say I don't gotta dance, I make money move. If I see you now speak, that means I don't f with you. I'm a boss, you a worker. I make bloody moves. Now she say she gon' do what a who? Let's find out and see. Cardi B, you know where I'm at, you know where I be. You in the club just to party, and then I get paid a fee. I be in and out them bands so much, I know they tired of me. Honestly, don't give a about who ain't fond of me. Drop 2 mixtapes in 6 months, won't breaking as hard as me. I don't bother with these, don't let these bother me. They see pictures, they say ghosts. I'm who they tryna be. Look, I might just chill in some babe. I might just chill with your boo. I might just spill on your babe. My feel like a lake. He wanna swim with his face. I'm like, okay. I let him get what he want. He buy me East and around. And then you whip. When it go back as a horse. I got the trunk in the front. I'm the hottest in the street. Know you probably heard of me. Got a bag and fix my teeth. Hope you know it ain't cheap. And I pay my mama bills. I ain't got no time to chill. Think these be mad at me. They baby father run a bill. You can f with me if you wanted to. These expensive, these is red bottoms, these is blood bloody shoes. Hit the school, I can get them both. I don't wanna choose, and I'm quick cutting off, so don't get comfortable. Look, I don't dance now, I make money move. Say I don't gotta dance, I make money move. If I see you now speak, that means I don't with you. I'm a boss, you a worker, I make bloody moves. You get popped, you a groupie, you a op. Don't you come around my way, you can't hang around my block. And I just check my account, turns out I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. I put my hand above my hip, I bet you dip, he dip, she dip. I say, I get the money and go, dip this high like a stove. My glitter is gold, tell that little bitch her roll. I just a roll in the rolls, I just came up in a rave. I need to fill up the tank, no, I need to fill up the safe. I need to let all these know they none of them to say. I go to dinner and steak, only the real can relate. I used to live in the peace, now it's the crib with the day. Only got charms, the life was the place. Hard to let these know, just in case he's forgot. I just wanna check the mail, another check from on the You can for me if you wanted to. These expensive, these is red bottoms, these is bloody shoes. Hit the school, I can get them both. I don't wanna choose, and I'm quick cutting off, so don't get comfortable. Look, I don't dance now, I make money move. Said I don't gotta dance, I make money move. If I see you now speak, that means I don't with you. I'm a boss, you a worker, I make bloody moves.
Alright.
Sorry.
The word was selfless.
Okay, so sorry, I kind of got off topic because when I hear hip hop, I kind of like innate freestyles. But so selfless, more self, more good vibes, more wealth. Thick skin like Luke Cage, you punks get pierced like pansy pelts. Subtle savage will crack a cabbage for the lettuce, bread, cheddar, whatever, head out sever. With a crown attached and melted down to a 24-karat chain, leaving those non-believing so astound. I don't propel rounds, I'll make change more effective and more alive than a 4-5. That's a lot. It was like way off compared to the last one. But
You got it. You hit it on the nail. So, are you ready for the next step?
the next step.
Yeah. Moving right along.
Yeah.
Okay. So at this time, I will allow you to recite 1, 2, maybe 3, all depending, poems and or raps.
Mm-hmm.
This is live, no instrumentals, no pre-recorded music, just you and the mic.
The raw.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you ready?
Yeah, need my phone. So everybody on Instagram Live, my bad. Jump on Bloomfield Radio to definitely check out, everything. So it's a dub.
Damn.
My man from Hawaii was checking too. Oh, I like that one. That's what it is. Okay. There it is. Okay, so I have a song in the works. It's a neo soul song. It is called Organic. It's basically about having an organic relationship with somebody, and I relate it to growing in the growing plants in the garden, organic.
Oh, wow.
You know, I do double entendres on my thing, whether you talk to me or you hear my music. So I'll just say the verse, the rap verse. You give me food for thought, now let me water your mind. I reap your herb so rare, I wouldn't sell for a dime. Planting seeds to grow, why would any block your shine and throw shade when for days they could lay for a time? Yes, you got the juice, yes, it's effortless, not concentrated, so no one's stressing it. But there's few coming through, picking you for your fruit. They won't stay, cultivate like I do, night to noon, sweat until blood boils. I toil in your soil, sifting through the dirt, brushing your jewels royal. Minding your mind, what I find is divine. From the core grant, now man-made or managed or candid, you're organic.
Ooh.
Can you like say that whole thing again?
Now that was dope.
All right, yeah. I'll say it slow. Give me food for thought, now let me water your mind. I reap your herb so rare, I wouldn't sell for a dime. Planted seeds to grow, why would any block your shine? And throw shade when for days they could lay for a time. Yes, you got the juice, yes, it's effortless, not concentrated, so no one's stressing it. But there's few coming through, picking you for your fruit. They won't stay, cultivate like I do, night to noon, sweat until blood boils. I toil in your soil, sifting through the dirt, brushing your jewels royal. Minding your mind, what I find is divine. From the core granite, not man-made or managed or candid, you're organic.
I just can't.
That
Okay.
was dope.
No,
I really
seriously.
like that.
Right.
So when you gonna drop
yeah,
this?
when is this you gonna drop?
This song,
I want you to record it like now.
Right, like-
Actually, like yesterday, to be honest.
yeah, I'm working on it. Yeah, I want to have it done when I find a singer. That's the important part, actually. Like I said, I write songs I'm a songwriter. I write for singers. This one, okay, we're good now. All right, the song will be done in a week, okay?
Okay.
All right, see the artwork, all right?
Okay.
Shout out to my man, Nick Lacey. Okay, so you said like a couple, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to recite a birthday card for someone I loved who didn't deserve it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's deep.
yeah. Her friends go to this college too. We're gonna get petty.
Oh.
She knows who she is.
Oh,
How?
she know.
But anyway,
Ooh, he said.
because her friends know who I am. How?
Oh.
But nah.
16.
Oh,
Let
right.
me see. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Oh, sidebar. This comes from the fact that I used to have an idea where I wanted to do a custom greeting card business.
Okay.
So I would actually make poems for greeting cards for those who want something
Okay.
sentimental. $50
Yeah,
a card.
so, yeah.
But yeah. It's called The Garden. Another year under the belt, another candle on the cake, but there will never be another you, another reason to celebrate. With beloveds who toil in your fertile soil, with a garden state of mind, reaping so richly the fruits of their labor, the greatest wine from your grapes of vines. You make their efforts worth it. They sip slow with their thirst quenched. You're perfectly imperfect, thus you're perfect. Still you're searching, finding, grinding, building, fulfilling all truths of self, while you do for all else. Who say, take your time with life as life took its time to create you, placed you, mold you as it's supposed to. This doesn't slow or hold you back. You meditate as your crystal cocoon cracks and your pretty wings flap. To sky's limit as you thrive in it. It warms hearts to see you butterfly and butterfly and flutter by the garden and reside in it.
Can you go back to the line where you said you're perfect? Or
Something, yeah.
yeah, that.
You make their efforts worth it. They sip slow with their thirst quenched. You're perfectly imperfect, thus you're perfect, but still you're searching.
I like that. Yeah. That's a good line.
I guess since Valentine's Day is coming up, I can do that one too.
Oh, yeah.
I did one for that for a couple of holidays. Let's see. Okay, so this one is called No Justice. I wrote it in, it is a Valentine's Day card, but because it was Black History Month, every month is Black History Month, but we're trying to make everyone else feel better because we know what it is, they just don't. But anyway, let's see. So it's called No Justice, so it relates to that too. This holiday got nerve, cramming your feelings into one day. Even when it falls on a weekend, like I only love you some days. But it's always all days, from summer hot with no AC powered hallways, past the Claritin D nasally, pray for me, like sniffing a line of pollen just walking out the door spring days, and ashy hand webbed winter, scratchy throat popping cherry flavored halls days, through did you steal my Blistex again, foolish foliage fall days, cement my cracked lips with a warm kiss, if so, nah, I'm dead ass, despite the wordplay. February 14th for you is like the 13th by Ava DuVernay. It's a process due to you, but does no justice. Queen, I'm your king. Let's raise the bar, occasion us. Society can't bunk us.
I was marinating.
Yeah.
I'm speechless.
No, that was good.
My words left. My words left my body.
Thank you. I usually don't recite my poems, but of course, I will now.
I feel like poetry allows you to get deeper into who a person is, I feel like. So can rap, but poetry takes it to a whole nother level, I feel like.
I agree, because there's no flow in terms of, because there's no beat to constrict you, confine you to, being boundless.
You're right.
See, I remember I did have something I started. It's not done, but it's very important to me.
Okay.
It's basically about handling bitter people. And I don't know, I feel like people don't understand what that term means. They say bitter or petty like it's an average word like the, but I'm just like, nah, there's a meaning to that word. Like when you're bitter, that means that someone is mad because of some offense you did absolutely nothing to them. And then, when you're scorned, that means that you're bitter because you were actually wronged. I've been scorned for a very long time in my life, and that's what this was.
Okay.
So it's called vantage point. For those who don't know, a vantage point is the position a sniper takes when it's about to take his kill shot. So. Inhale the failure, exhale the lesson. My instincts are distinct, no more second guessing. Gave so many benefit of the doubt, they should get a pension. Let it slide like KY when I was effed over, but there's still tension. Still that drive-by where you reside. Stun gun, zip ties, chloroform at my side. My ratchet tucked, but it won't fix my healing. You need to live through the pain of what it means to have feelings. To say that I love you, make a stranger a priority, then let it stray like no yellow brick road for a Dorothy. Now that I'm back in Kansas, I can't stand it. Made my flesh a canvas with ink stampings. Cause I'm not a cutter, but I gotta drown the pain. How can I love another when it's all the same? Repetitive intros of name, origin, and interest. If they waste my time, I should charge them just for paying attention with interest. Take love that y'all show with a grain of salt. Cause like a punk, you'll dump a beach on my feet, denying fault. You see me shining, then say I'm flashy, cause you live in my shadow, but we both still ashy. But one of us has to stay classy despite all the spite. I get text reds talking all like, you wanna fight? Like punks had somewhere to stay when they were kicked out like strays. And lames had clear heads, and I didn't give up my bed. And losers had bread for Ubers, or hands that feed me wouldn't demean me as abusers. Look, you keyboard warriors, type punk, friend. Been above all the BS, so first is the only place that you can put me in. That's it, it's not done yet.
Well, Jesus.
That was a lot.
Right. Okay. So I do want to ask, like, have you ever done, like, a poetry slam or any type of poetry,
Contest?
yes.
Contest, no.
Okay. But you have done it, like,
Like I've been to maybe soul sessions, open mics, you know,
Yeah.
sharing, but where I compete with people, no.
okay.
I don't do competitions in terms of like battles or, you know, whatever, you know.
Okay.
I feel like one reason is because I feel like judges kind of go for the gimmicks and the things that are just like not so much to do with the content or the expression of the words. Like I've seen people try to, they rolled their eyes back like they're possessed and, you know, like contorted their voice in a way to win the judges over. And I'm just like, okay, I get it. But it's like the way that they did it had nothing to do with what they talked about. And I feel like it's, you know, less about the substance, which you and I favor, and more about the flash or the visuals, off guardness. That's just me.
Okay. I can agree to that. I feel like you would be a great, well, I don't know what to call it, poetry slammer,
Thank you.
because it's all there. Like your voice, your aura,
Thank you.
like it's there. But, and what is like your motivation behind your poetry? Is it the same for when you rap?
When I write poetry, there's absolutely either nothing, like complete silence, or I write my poetry to J Dilla beats. So I don't pick any other producer to write poetry to except J Dilla. Because one, he has a wide range. So the fact his range, it goes far, says a lot about how he can tap into you as a person, because you have different feels all the time. You may feel scorned, you may feel happy, you may feel in love. J Dilla has a beat for all that.
Okay.
Just like how there's an app for everything. There's a beat for everything, but with J Dilla. J Dilla is, you know, foundation of writing creation.
Okay. Bless your heart.
Thank you.
So I do want to say that I would love to have you back. I'm putting this on the record.
I heard that, right?
It's out there. Because, you know, you're great's not even a good word, but I'm gonna just say great. Why not? Great person overall, and then your work is definitely a reflection.
Thank you.
But again, let everyone know what they can find your work on.
Yeah, follow your mans in them on Dru Diligence, DruDiligence, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Tumblr, pigeon message. I got it tatted on me. Nah. But yeah.
I'm about to say.
Yeah, at Dru Diligence tatted on me. Nah. But yeah, follow me there, man. SoundCloud also. Yeah, I'm gonna have everything uploaded on all platforms very soon.
You still need that song, but you know.
Yeah, no, for real.
And an organic coming soon featuring.
Nelly.
Woo! That's it. Platinum. That's it.
It's on the record, guys.
You're gonna get a Grammy.
But again, I am Brain Russell, and this is WBCR, Bloomfield College Radio. Have a great day.